In this presentation, I will show you how to use else block with the loop. Let me show you how to use of else keyword with the loop. I think you have already has a concept of else block. I have already shown it in the video where the if statement has been explained. We are quite familiar with this else keyword with the if statement. Now here I am going to show you the use of else keyword with the loop. Loop means for loop and while loop. Using else keyword with loop is optional. If a loop completes its execution without any interruption, then only else block will execute. That's mean the else clause of a Python loop executes when the loop terminates normally. Or in other word, when test condition result into false for a while loop or for loop has executed for the last value in the sequence, not when the break statement terminates the loop. Let me show you the syntax first. Look at both the syntax. This is for loop, this is while loop. So here I have written for some variable, this is in membership operator, then a sequence. A sequence may be a list, tuple, dictionary, or you can use range function over here. And this is the body of the loop. Now outside the for loop and just after this for loop, I have written else colon, this is the body of the else part. So when this for loop completes its execution without any interrupt, then only the else part will execute. But if there is a break statement within this for loop, then the else part will not execute. The same thing will happen in case of while loop also. So after while there is a test expression, and if this while loop terminates without any interruption, then only the else part will be executed. Let me show you some example. First of all, let me create a for loop first. Let me write the comment line as else with for loop. Now let me write for I in range within bracket 1 to 5 colon. Under this for loop, let me print the value of I. Outside this for loop, let me write print I am in the else block, or let me write like this, I am in the loop else block. Now let me run the program first. Look what happened. It will print all the values of I, that is from 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, since it completes its execution properly. So the else block executed. I am in loop else block. A double in has been written, just ignore it. Now if I write a break statement within the for loop, look what happened. If I run this program again, so it will only print the value of I, the first value of I, that is 1. So after printing 1, the program encounters this break statement, and since the loop is getting stopped by this break statement, so the else part has not been executed. So whenever a loop gets interrupted by the break statement, it will not execute the else part. The loop else execute only in the case of normal termination of loop. Let me write a while loop also. Say, let me initialize the variable I as 1. Let me convert this for loop to while loop. While I less than 5. Now print I. Let me delete this break statement. Since it is a while loop, so I have to use this increment statement I equal to I plus 1. Now let me run the program. Look, the same output 1, 2, 3, 4. The else clause work identically in while loop. That is execute if the test condition goes false and not in case of break statements execution. No break statements, L part is executed. Now let me attach a break statement over here. Look what happened. Only 1 will be printed over here. Look, 1. And after that, it executes break statement. That's mean it will come out from the while loop abnormally. So else part has not been executed. Let me show you an example. Here we will do this program. Program to input some numbers repeatedly and print the sum. The program ends when the user say no more to enter. That will be the normal termination. Or the program aborts when the number entered is less than 0. So whenever user gives a number less than 0, it will come out from the loop abnormally and it will show some message. So here I will use the else block along with the loop. So first of all, let me take two variable count and sum that will be initialized with 0. Now my answer variable will be initialized with, say, small y. Now let me write while ans equal to small y. So for that we are going to take input an integer from the user. So num equal to int, enter positive number. Now if num less than 0, so if the user gives a negative number as input, so it will print entered number is negative, aborting, and we will break the loop and come out from the loop. Now if he or she continues with a positive number, then we will do the sum. So let's write sum plus equal to num, sum of the numbers which are inputted by the user. Now let me write down count plus equal to 1. So it will count the number of inputs supplied by the user. Then we will ask the user whether he or she wants to continue or not. So for that, input within bracket 1, 2, enter more numbers, yes or no. So these are the lines within the while loop. Let me come out from the loop. Let me write down the else part. Here let me write you entered count numbers so far. So this will be the only line which will be within the else part. Now let me come out from this else block, and this is outside the else block. Let me print the sum of the numbers. So sum of numbers entered is sum. So this is the complete program. So look what happened when I run the program. It will ask for a positive number. Let me write 10, enter. It will ask whether I want to enter more number or not. I entered yes, y. While loop will continue. Now let me type 5. Again it will ask me to enter more numbers. This time also yes. Now let me type 1. This time I will write no. I want to stop this loop. So this will be a normal termination. So when I press N, then look at the output. Since the while loop terminates properly without any interruption or by executing the break statement, and that's why the control will move to the else part. So it has printed you entered 3 numbers so far. You entered count numbers so far. So in place of count, it has printed the total count which has been calculated within the while loop, that is 3. After that, it will come out from the else block, then it will print the total sum, that is 10 plus 5 plus 1, that is 16. Now let me run the program once again. This time let me type 10 first. Want to enter more numbers? Yes. Let me type 20. Want to enter more numbers? Yes. Now this time let me type -5, which is less than 0. Since -5 is less than 0, it will enter into this if block. It will show entered number is negative, aborting. Then it will execute this break statement. Since a break statement has been executed, so it will not execute the else part. It will directly come out over here and print the sum of the entered number is sum. So let me enter this -5. Look what happened. Entered number is negative, aborting. Since the while loop encounters this break statement, so it will not execute this else part. It will directly show the sum of the entered number, that is 30. So this feature of loop else can be used in different scenario, and it's totally depend on the programmer. So thank you. This is all for this video. Bye.